Hi, I'm going to show you a brief overview of Epic today. What Epic is it's all virtual online books for students to be able to read, and teachers can assign them and assign quizzes and all this great stuff. So it's a really good tool for virtual learning, distance learning, if we ever have to do that in the future. And then also because I know with COVID precautions and restrictions, where a lot of schools are actually limiting students checking out library books and things like that. So Epic takes away all that. As long as they have their own device that they can read it on, or listen to it on, they're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you don't have an account, click on Get Started. If you're an educator, you want to learn more about it, you can click on Educator. If you're a student logging in, you have a class code, you can click Class Code. If you're interested to learn more ideas about how Epic's used in classrooms, you can click on their blog. And if you already have an account, you can click Log In. Oh, yeah, and by the way, it's getepic.com. Sorry, I forgot that one. It's pretty important to know the website that you need to go to. I'm sure, too, if you'd also Google it, if you just Google Epic, it would probably pop up as well for you. But it is getepic.com. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. The way Epic works is there is a school version, which is free for teachers and students throughout the school day during normal school hours from, I think it was like 8 a.m. to, or maybe it was 9 a.m. to 3 or 4 p.m. And then there is a separate account that they can get to use Epic at home. And that's divided into two different, there's an Epic free for home. That's 2 hours a week that kids can log in. And you can actually, I suggest making your class first and then connecting parents to the student in your class. And then they can just make their home account off of that, because it will show you, if you do it that way, if you're identified as their teacher, it'll actually show you the hours and the minutes that they're spending reading at home. So that can count too if you're like counting a reading log or something. And then there's also Epic, the paid home version. It's a subscription. It's, I believe, under $10 a month. And then students get access to all the books, all the videos, and can have 24/7 access to that. It's not restricted by time or anything. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and log into my educator account today and show you that. If you would like to see what it looks like on the student end, you could always make yourself a fake student and log in with that fake student's username and password. Or you can try to find a video on YouTube explaining Epic. I know when I was first learning about it, I found multiple videos on YouTube telling me what it was. So that's helpful as well. All right, so I logged in using my Gmail account. Makes it so much easier because I don't have to remember a separate username and password. And so we're waiting here. So Epic has different types of books. There's fiction and nonfiction. You can look at books based on their AR level or their Lexile level. I mean, you get to pick that as a teacher, what reading level you use in your classroom. So this is the teacher page. There's the class code, and you have daily student activity. So students will need this class code to log in. So it's really nice that it's right here on the main page for them. And then you can turn your learning videos on or off for students to be able to access. You can say what grade you teach, what system you're using, change your account settings there. There's a monthly activity calendar. It says like read a fairy tale book or something on this day and that, so it gives the kids kind of something to do. If they're not really sure like what books to check out, they can try some new books there. Different ways you can join the Epic community. And then I'll show you when you explore, you can look at different topics and see the different topics that are available with the books. So there's English, science, social emotional learning, social studies, math, languages. Math was one of the more interesting ones, so I'm going to just show you that and click on that for you so you can check that out. And all right, and so like I was saying, there's different formats of books. So they have fiction and nonfiction books, but they also have read to me books. Those are books that are read by Epic, by people that work at Epic. And as they read the story, the words pop out. So that's really good for your struggling readers or your lower level readers. They have audiobooks, so that will not show you the pictures or words or anything. It'll just be a reading of the book. So it'll be like an audiobook that you'd rent from the library, or like a book on CD or something. You're not looking at the pages, you're just listening to it. And then you can also go through and read the books yourself. So with the math ones, the example I have here is for factors and multiples. There are a ton of different math books on here, really there are. It tells you the age range 7 to 12, the level's 4.6. And what I would do with this, if I were using this with my kids, is I would do just what I'm doing right here. I would hop onto Screencastify and read the book with my class if we were in a virtual learning or distance learning type of environment. If we're in the classroom, this is maybe something I would project up on the board and read with them. So it goes through, it's really nice. It goes through and tells what are factors with different pictures and explanations. We would have discussion. It gives some examples for them to try, and then the answers are listed down below. Nice little chart comparing factors and multiples. Oops. Yeah, we don't need to know what the word "the" is. But that's a good feature too. If they come across a word that they don't know, they can click on it and it'll tell them what it is and give them the definition. So it's probably a good thing you saw that. And then more examples here. And then when we get to the very end, we have a glossary and different websites that we can visit. So if I'm planning a lesson around this, I can check out these different websites and maybe send those to my kids to interact with. And then when I'm finished reading, I can click Finish Book. It'll give me points and tell me how long I've read for. This is your reading time total and your points total, not just for this book. So far this week, I've been reading for 7 minutes total. And then over here on this side, if this is part of a series, it'll give you more books that are in the series. And then these are more books based on the topic. So other math books that students can check out. And then when you're finished, I guess I should show you this too. Okay, so when you're in the book, you can use this to move forward and backward through the book if you want to. If you need to go back to the middle of the book, page 15 maybe. You can zoom in and out and you can do full screen. Up here as a teacher, you can do, this is for the menu. This is to create a quiz. So if you want to create a quiz over it, you do that all on your own. If you want to add it to your favorites or collection, you click on that heart. If you want to assign it to your students, which means that it pops up on their account in their mailbox, so they can just click that and complete it. And then if you want to hide, so this is to hide the story from your kids. So if you come across a story that you're like, maybe that's a little bit too advanced for them, and you don't want them coming across it, then you can hide it from them. I haven't really come across any that are an issue at all. And then you can also share it. All right, so click the X to exit out of it. And like I said, you can click up here to find different books, collections, videos. The videos for math are awesome too. They have Math Explosion videos for ages 6 to 12, and that's like Bill Nye, but with math. So very interactive, very visual videos, really good for kids. And then there's Number Rock videos, which are like songs for math, and then different audiobooks explaining different math strategies. Okay, so we went to the Explore. That was under Explore. You can also search for an author. So like Kate DiCamillo is on here. So we'll see some of her books. Or I'm sorry, it's just a book about her. A biography, that's a good one. Okay. And then if you look over here with the heart, that's your favorites, your collections, different topics, things that you've hidden. If if you want to unhide them. And then for your students, you can see their daily reading, their student reading logs. You can see different assignments that you've assigned to them and if they've completed them or not, and how long it took them to read those books, and then quizzes. If you assign a book and you put a quiz with it, or if it already has a quiz, they can take that and you can see their score on it as well. And then you can change your settings and go to your mailbox, and that's where different messages will be. The mailbox is actually on the student account is where their assignments will be. So, okay. Well, that is the shortened version of the EPIC video here. Again, great resource to use, especially if your school has a policy about reducing the number of library books checked out, or if you're not allowed to have books in your classroom or students sharing them or whatever. We still, despite all of this, we still want to teach our kids to love reading. And that's why I love Epic, because they can go on there, they can find books that they're interested in. I can also assign them to them. And there's a lot of great books on here. This is kind of like the Netflix for books. So there's even books that are specific for Epic. They're called Epic Originals. So that's special to Epic. You won't find them anywhere else. So we like some of those books. We read them. They're funny. And then also, don't be afraid to use Epic with the older kids too, in middle school and even high school. Some of those kids, for research projects, biographies, things like that, they would really find a lot of these books very helpful. And so, yeah, so it's really for all ages. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.